and welcome to Talking Reds, coming to you from Istanbul. As you can probably see, and maybe even hear behind us, it's going off here. The Reds have taken over Taksim Square and the surrounding areas, and it's just been a fantastic day all told so far. The Reds are playing the European Super Cup final against Chelsea. Not that you'd know it, there's not really many Chelsea fans around here, Josh, and it's just been great, isn't it? We've pretty much taken over this place.
Yeah, I've loved it so far. It's one of the things that I sort of love most about being a Liverpool fan and getting to do these trips is that it feels like Liverpool just do it like no other team, really. If it feels like as a group of supporters, we'll have nothing more than to go to a European city and sort of make it our own or put our own stamp on it. Obviously, there's been a lot of sort of respect for the culture and respect for Istanbul, as you'd like to see in most places. But yeah, it's been Liverpool fans just having a party so far, which I'm all for.
Yeah, and the Turkish have so far responded really well to us. They've welcomed us into their city and we've reciprocated. In fact, if you see over there, there's probably quite a few Turkish people recording on their phones just to see the madness happen. But all is not rosy in the Liverpool world. Unfortunately, something bad did happen yesterday. During training at the stadium last night, there was an injury issue surrounding Naby Keita. I think he only lasted 15-20 minutes into the session and he had to come out. Now, it's a shame, obviously, for this game because we were all hoping to be able to see him. But Josh, we've had quite a few injury issues with Naby over the time of his Liverpool career. Are you starting to get a little bit worried about him?
A little bit, yeah. I think this is maybe one of them ones you can put it down to is sort of duty to Guinea over the summer, and we also know what happened around that Liverpool and the player didn't want him to go. Guinea sort of drove him beyond the red zone, really, so to speak. So I think you can probably explain this injury with that. Well, I hope you can, because you sort of hope that these little niggling injuries he's getting are not a long-term thing, because you almost thought this would be the season. Klopp mentioned it in his pre-Norwich press conference, didn't he, saying that Naby looks completely different to the player he was a year before, like he was confident and settled. So you were almost hoping this would be the season he kicks on. So you hope the injury's not bad and he still gets the opportunity to do that, of course. But yeah, it's slightly worrying signs for me, I think.
We should point out that we've not heard any official news on how bad it is yet, despite what may or may not be running across Twitter. I mean, after the whole Alisson incident, I think it's really, really important to remember that no one really knows until you've heard it from the mouth of the official channels.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. There seems to be a lot of sort of wannabe doctors on social media who can diagnose our players' injuries just by watching them on the pitch. But no, then just leave it to the medical fellas, lads.
So it looks like Keita's probably not going to take part tonight, but we've still got a massive squad full of quality players who are going to be taking part. Now, one name that's been on a lot of lips around here so far has been Mo Salah, and we were talking earlier today about the potential for what kind of a moment that would be were he to score here. I mean, personally, I'm really looking forward to it. I hope he's on pens for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. He seems to be a sort of hero around these parts, which is nice to see that his reach goes beyond Liverpool. I think Neil Atkinson mentioned it in our book Numero 6, which you should go and buy from the AnfieldUp.com/shop, by the way. Yeah, he mentions that Mo Salah's not just a hero in Liverpool, he's not just a hero in Egypt, he's a hero to everybody around the world, and that was based on the reception he got in New York. So really looking forward to seeing the reception he gets in Istanbul tonight, and with the form he's in as well. He was great against Man City, I thought, albeit he could have maybe took a few more of his chances, but I think that's going to happen for a player who scores 30 goals in a season. He's going to take some chances, he's going to miss quite a lot as well in the process, and probably not pass it as much as he'd like at times. So people need to sort of have a bit of patience with that. But yeah, just really looking forward to seeing him kicking on from that form as well. The form he showed against Norwich, it was a sort of typical Mo Salah goal, wasn't it, that he scored against Norwich? So hopefully more of the same tonight.
And we have to remember that our opponents tonight are probably the only people in the world who aren't Mo Salah fans. That's his former club, Chelsea. We should probably talk a little bit about them as a team. Obviously on Sunday, the league didn't start so well for them, getting beaten 4-0. Now, sometimes opening games, you can't really draw a lot from it, but in terms of how they're going to set up, who's going to be in the team, do you start to see some ideas about how Frank Lampard wants to put his team together?
Yeah, I think we always expected him to use the kids, really, didn't we? He was, it feels like a free hit for him this season in a way. I know a lot of people have mentioned that and have maybe said that there are some bad points to that because of the transfer ban, but it seems like there are also, you know, some positives for Frank Lampard, and it feels like Chelsea fans for ages have wanted Chelsea to be bringing more kids through and utilising that great academy which they have. You know, think about how many players have gone on from Chelsea and made a successful career elsewhere, and you know, we all laugh at them for the careers of Mo Salah, Kevin De Bruyne and the like, who went to Chelsea, used their facilities for a bit and then got off and became better players elsewhere. But it feels like Frank Lampard's going to have the opportunity to develop them players more now, and I think you saw that in the first game with him starting Mount, Tammy Abraham, Christensen and Zuma. Although, to be fair, if he starts that Christensen-Zuma partnership tonight, I'm going to be licking my lips in the stadium because it was so strange to watch. They were honestly like, it was like them two kids in school who have a fight and then they get put on an activity together by the teacher, just so they'll sort of make up. Like, they were nowhere near each other on the pitch. And I'm just thinking, you know, if we've got Firmino starting, Origi starting, Mane or Salah, whichever combination of them people we start, then we've got more than enough to get in behind them there and get him one-on-one on Kepa.
Indeed, we have, and I think that's something that we'll have to look out for. Liverpool getting the opportunities early and taking them, putting the game in their own control and going on from there. Now, one forward you didn't mention, another former Chelsea player, another former Chelsea youth player who came to us from them, Mr. Brewster. Could we see his first competitive action today, do you reckon?
It's tough, isn't it? Because, you know, I think we'd all love to see Brewster getting more competitive games, but it's been strange so far to not even see him being like making the bench along with a few of the kids, really. So I think I could sort of imagine Klopp doing the same again in terms of his bench and his squad for what he did with the Community Shield and the Norwich game, where you probably don't see many of the kids. I hope, you know, that he doesn't class Brewster as you know, in that group. I hope he classes Brewster more as one of the senior players than maybe he does for the likes of Harvey Elliott and Sepp van den Berg. But yeah, I'd love to see Brewster. Like, I was really enjoyed his performances in pre-season on the American tour in particular, and I really do want to see him kick on this season. Want to see him get more competitive minutes. I'm just not sure that's tonight.
Well, we'll have to wait and see on that score. I think if we're maybe 3-0 up and he's on the bench, then I would love to see Jurgen bring him on just for a little runabout, just so we can give him the cheer that he deserves. Now, as you may have noticed in the background of this video, we have attracted quite the crowd. We've had people filming us filming. Obviously,
there's loads of pyro going
off behind our backs.
Fellas waving.
Oh, Jesus. So yeah, as you can see, Liverpool are here. We are ready for this game, and you're going to be able to hear all about it from the Anfield Wrap coming over the next days. We've got the post-match show, we've got the post-match pint, we've got all of our tour diaries. We just recorded another one of them. Lots about dogs. If you're a fan of dogs.
Dogs and eggs.
Dogs and eggs.
If you want to find out more about that, subscribe to the Anfield Wrap.
If it was an AFQ, the title would be Dogs and Eggs. But yeah, we've got that to do. We've got more of that coming tomorrow. And obviously, we've got this fantastic football match to look forward to. So wherever you are enjoying it from, I really hope it's a fantastic game. I know we're going to enjoy it from where we are, aren't we, mate?
Absolutely. We're going to drink this in fully.
Up the Reds.